For about a year, Victoria has been tormented by exhausting nightmares that prevent her from sleeping. She often dreams of being buried alive. Her husband Terry is tired and has started an affair with his secretary Lisa, but he can't leave his wife because the house they live in belongs to her and he himself is drowning in massive debt. The resourceful Lisa suggests to Terry that they could use Victoria's nightmares and her weak heart to kill her without arousing the police's suspicion. Fred Olen Ray is a pillar of American B-movie cinema, a director, producer, and screenwriter of 150 low-budget films whose titles speak for themselves: Bad Girls from Mars, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, and Scream Queen's Hot Tub Party. Ray's role model was the legendary producer Roger Corman, and his output was so prolific that he had to regularly use pseudonyms to avoid oversaturating the market with his name. Haunting Fear is a perfect illustration of this factory-like speed and exploitation-minded temperament in practice. It's far from Ray's best film, but let's say it's one of the most representative of his approach to the horror genre and filmmaking in general shot. In just 6 days for $115,000, it shows Ray at his best. Of course, aside from the motif of the obsessive fear of waking up in a coffin underground, the film has nothing in common with Edgar Allan Poe's story The Premature Burial, on which it's loosely based. However, it clearly demonstrates how well Ray understands the formula of horror exploitation and how skillfully he cuts away everything superfluous. The actress who played Victoria, Brinke Stevens, is one of the scream queens of the 90s, and in interviews she has often said that she considers her role in Haunting Fear one of the strongest in her career. That's not entirely true. As an actress, Stevens is just as limited here as everywhere else, but Ray, as a director, builds a sinister, oppressive atmosphere around her character that works for her, emphasizing and intensifying her character's exhaustion. He is helped in this by Chuck Serino's memorable music and the visuals by cinematographer Gary Graver, a truly amazing man whose filmography includes the cult 70s slasher The Town That Dreaded Sundown, Orson Welles' final film The Other Side of the Wind, and a whole bunch of adult films he directed and shot under the pseudonym Robert McCallum. In its overall vibe, Haunting Fear often resembles an 80s porn film from that era, when adult entertainment was just a stone's throw away from mainstream cinema. It has little logic or depth, but plenty of genre, frills. And exploitation is always about the frills. In such movies, meaning is very often formed from them. And even though the creator's desire to cut the budget is obvious, Ray doesn't do it by padding the runtime with filler. He builds the runtime with trashy treats. For instance, another of Victoria's nightmares featuring the always creepy Michael Berryman as a coroner, or a scene of passionate sex between Terry and his secretary. In both, Ray is in his element. He is straightforward and uncomplicated. Horror and titillation go hand in hand in his formula. Haunting Fear is almost a textbook example of low-budget genre production. Minimum resources, maximum inventiveness. Secure star names like Karen Black and Jean-Michael Vincent for the poster, and shoot their scenes in a couple of days. Present a not-so-talented actress in a way that leaves her convinced she delivered an Oscar-worthy performance, and spin an entire film out of a single idea, that some nightmares are better left alone. Otherwise, they might climb out of the coffin at the most inopportune moment and chop your head off with a kitchen knife, which in horror movies always works better than any logical argument.